Hey guys, we are excited to be able to have this blow up as a district to be able to offer it to churches for use. The purpose of this video is to help us with that, because it is, with so many different people using it, it's really critical that it get put up properly and the same way each time. So what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you how one person with a bad back can roll this up the proper way to fit onto our cart, to then fit through the narrow door at the campground that it will be stored in. Very, very important that it be returned this way. So hey, let's get started. After you unplug it, what you're just going to want to do, just for it to deflate all the way as much as possible, is to take the chutes off of the blower. That helps the air escape way quicker. As you can see, it's going to take a while for it to deflate all the way. You know, it's great if you can just unplug it, let it go, and just walk away from it. If you are in a hurry because you have some volunteers sticking around to help you fold it up, there are a few things we can do to help it lose the hair a little quicker. Right here, in this area, we can fold back. We can access the trap door. And we can get a gush of air out through there. And then there's another one as well back here in the back. Now we can give it a few more minutes for the air to come out. We can also walk on it, and that'll help as well. Or she wants to fall back, we're going to lay her down. Now she'll be fine like that. Kick it under, and we're just going to walk around some. It really is important to get as much air out as we possibly can before folding. Before we start, we want to go ahead and stretch everything back out. You'll notice as it fell, it all collapsed to the left. I'm just going to stretch out the base and try to get it as stretched out the way it was. And then I'm going to show you how we can fold it in properly. Tighten that up. Okay. So as you can tell, this side here where the slide is, it all fell out that way. This fell in. That's fine, but now we're going to reposition it before we roll it up. We're going to take this column, we're going to pull it in straight. We're going to take this column, we're going to pull it in. This one's at a little bit of an angle, just where the corner is. This one is doing the same thing. This is laying this flat out. Now we have this big column piece here. We won't stretch it out. And this leaves this little piece that we just fold over this column that comes in. So we get some straight paths going on. Now, the slide area, that's hooked to the bottom. We're going to pull it in. And what we're doing is we're searching for the column tops. Walk out more air as we're doing that. Here we go. We're going to bring this column in and get it laying down as flat as we can get it, laying across the others. Again, walk that air out. So, we do this column, the big arch with the excess of the arch laying over. Then we start with the slide, bringing it on top. Pull that column in, and now we just want to straighten this out as much as possible. It's not going to be perfect. We're not going to get a gorgeous flat sheet folding up your bed sheets. It's going to look more like a fitted sheet. But we're just trying to pull that tight while still keeping the bottom out. And this is what our finished project, our finished product will look like. Again, this isn't even as perfect as I've ever gotten it. Just kind of showing you what can happen when you work at it and get it laying flat and level. I am going to work on this area just a little bit more. The last we do is this little step-up landing area. Just fold it over. So what we're going for is before we start to roll is we are working, the bottom part is obviously different. We want it still on the ground, but all the sides up into the roll. The only thing we want exposed is that heavier bottom part. We're going to leave these two chutes out. It'll be the last thing that we do. So as we roll, we are still getting air coming out the chutes. Trap doors are open as well. Now, this works great if you have more than one person, but you can do it by yourself. So now we have it released of air. We have it down. We have it, it's, pretty neat. And we're all out of breath. Now's when the hard work comes. We start the folding process. We're going to fold it into thirds, starting with the side away from the slide. Remember, this has a little cutoff angle, so you don't start with the strap here at the front. There is a strap over here, and we're going to bring it in until you see the white line that we have spray painted on there for you. You bring it in, and we're going to catch this white line. That is what we're folding to. This is your mark, the spray painted white line. Just creating that as good as you can. Walk on it. Stretch it out. Smooth it out. All right, now that we have this side folded to the line, leveled out pretty well, coming to the other side, doing the same thing, folding to the white line. Watch for the white line. It should match up where this edge is now even with the other edge. We're right there at the white line. You see it's still just a little bit under. We can go just a little bit more. What happens is the sidewall folds out and you don't have the bottom. So if you push that sidewall back in, same color as the bottom, same material as the bottom, there's a big huge hem. If you push it in, then you can get the hem all the way to the side over here, and now you'll see we have our white line. Just barely there showing. So that's what we're looking for. We're going to walk it out. Compressing it down. Many feet. It's okay. You got kids around? Do it a step at a time. Have them walk around on it. But they're lightweights, so it don't hurt for you to come back and do it too. It is going to be bulky here on the slide. There's more material. It's just going to be bulky. It is work. Even in an air conditioning building, I've broken up a sweat. But hey, what do we do this for? We just do this we can show kids that there is a place that loves them and that love comes from Christ. It's why we do what we do. Sometimes we work hard to do it. Now, we've got it folded. You'll see that it spells out roll with an arrow. Pastor Mike, what does that mean? That means we're going to start right there and roll that way, not the other way. Before editing and cutting out, you'd have seen my knees slipping out from underneath me on this slick concrete floor. Doing it outside on grass, you won't have this problem. But I'm bringing a rug over just to keep me firmly planted on the ground. This really is where it's great to have two people. Again, they just have to work together. No need to get in a hurry on this. If you get in a hurry in this step, it's when you're going to make the job of returning it so much harder. Now, we're getting into the area to slide. This side's going to bulk up. Nothing I can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. I do cut away every now and then just to move this rug. The concrete floor is making it very difficult. It should be much easier outside on grass. Just keep rolling and keep trying to keep it straight. It's okay to stop when you see it bulking up. Stretch it back out over here. Don't just try to power through if it's starting to wrinkle in places you don't really want it to wrinkle. But it's going to get bulky. Just is. All right, so now we're going to start using our knees, our chest to hold it, and our knees and legs to push. We don't want to hurt our back. All right, we're almost there. Remember the knees. With it. Starting to get a little wampus. A little wampus is okay, just try not to. You may get some. Pull it back in. Hey, don't hesitate taking a break. Obviously, I just did. You want to get this rolled up good for the next person, in case you're the next person. But don't hurt yourself. It's work, like I said. But take a break when you need to take a break. Now I'm going to take another one, because here's another thing we need to talk about. Ratchet straps. When we use ratchet, we use this big, old one to hold it tight once we get done. And then we use other ones to attach it to the cart. If you don't know how to use a ratchet strap, there are wonderful YouTube videos about that too. but you don't want to make that harder on the next person because you use it improperly. Such as, like, I'm going to take off camera, not a break, to fix this ratchet strap because it has been rolled up so tight on here, it is now stuck. And that's not necessary. You should never, and you'd see that there is no free end hanging out. It's stuck inside there. That is not how a ratchet strap works. It helps the next person if we do things the right way. So educate yourself on ratchet straps as well. That'll come in handy. So again, take a break as I fix this one. All right, I'm back. I just want to show you what I meant by that tail end. You should never roll this up inside. This should never be ratcheted to the roll goes all the way up. You pull this tight, and when you hook this into the other end around the burrito we're making, you pull this tight, then you start ratcheting. You don't ratchet with slack. That just creates issues. Anyway, wanted to go in and hit that because I'm not going to tell you how long I was off camera then. So, let's get back to rolling. It's not a bad idea when you drop this thing in the first place, when you unhook it, to just go ahead and leave the hook end underneath and the ratchet on the outside, because you're going to see, well, I'm going to get this rolled up and then I'm going to have to work the ratchet underneath it. It would have been okay to have left it there, just as long as you were thinking about how you left the hook. All right, getting back to rolling again. By myself, I'm going to work on the smaller end instead of the big end, because what's wanting to happen is it wants to go this way when it starts to get big like that. So I'm going to roll from this end. We have just about completed our roll. So now, go ahead and walk out this air. Now, we'll take our chutes, lay them down in here. We don't want them hanging off the cart, getting hung, creating issues. And I just have one more roll and I am complete. Pray for me. And there, we have our roll. We'll leave that end out. When you get it, the part on the bottom is the back. That's why it's important to roll this up the same way each time, so that when we blow it up, we know where to position it. So we've left the very back as the very bottom. You set that edge where you want it, and you roll it out, and life can just be made much easier that way. All right, so our strap is where we want it. We're going to bring this end up. We're going to bring this hook up. Don't worry about trying to hook the hook, that's harder. Hook this hook through the hole, like that. Hook it like that. Now, what are we going to do? We're not going to start ratcheting. We're going to pull our excess. We want to keep this ratchet on top. If you let that ratchet get to the bottom, then it's in the way of your cart. It makes life hard. So, I've now pulled. Look at all the extra I have. 5 good ones. Fold it back shut. Excess. All kinds of things you can do. Not going to try to teach you that. That's the proper way. Now, you have a folded up blow up that is movable, and now we can load it onto the cart. All right, so we're going to now load it onto our cart. Now, if you're lucky, by the time you're using this, we have a new cart, and you can stop the video now, or figure out how the other cart works, and you'll notice how you took it off. But anyway, if we're still using this cart, there's just a couple things I want to show you that just makes life better coming in and out of the storage building. Okay, notice that the burrito is more or less the same length as the cart. That's why we folded it to the white lines to get it the same length as the cart. It's going to hang off a little bit. That's okay. Notice that we have the bigger end away from the handle and the smaller end at the handle. Now, I'll be honest with you, that's a little counterintuitive to me. Seems to me like it ought to be the other way around. But we have found this works better, because if you look at the cart, we've got the great big wheels up here at the front, so we can handle the weight of the heavier side where the slide is better than the small rotating wheels at the back end. Now, there are a couple of different ways that we can put this onto the cart. And we're going to show you that. But before I do so, I'm going to take another short break to do a couple of things. First, we have these that we're going to use to hold the blow up onto the cart. Notice they came back kind of bad. It's important to take care of your ratchet straps. It makes life easier on the next person. So I'm going to fix this mess. And then I'm also, now you might have noticed that I didn't have a tarp down underneath, and you may notice my tarp back here in the background. This tarp needs to go underneath the blow up before, at all times when you're outside. So you stretch that tarp out, and that tarp is more or less the same footprint of the blow up. So that gives you something nice and light for you to see how much space it's going to take up. And then you set this at the edge of the back side of where you want it, and you roll it out, and you're going to be in good shape. So I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to roll that up, or no, I'm going to fold that up nice and neat so the next person has something good. And now we have a nice folded up tarp for the next person. All right, we are almost done. Now, I cheated a little bit. I've done all this all by myself, but off camera then, I did go get some help to stand it up because I felt like I had reached the limit of what I could do. Because this is the way that I have found this the easiest way to put onto the cart and get it strapped down where it doesn't move around on you. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you'll see here we have the bottom here. This right here is the end that we're rolling out. Now, I can tell you one thing that I didn't get quite right on it. You see this big seam here? This would really be great if it was all rolled into the seam and this side wall wasn't showing. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. This works fine. So what we're going to do, again, this is what we're going to roll out. This is your cue where you're going to put it back out where the next person's going to do. So we're going to take our dolly, and we're going to stand him up. And we're just going to set it up there, right there. The end is hanging off the edge of the dolly right there. We're going to take that. Then we're going to take our ratchet strap. Again, working hard to use it in a way that is helpful and wise. And we don't want it at the bottom of it. We don't want it hard to get to. We're just going to throw it around. I'm going to lay it right there for a second, but I want it going right about here because I want to hold this up next to the handle. Come around. There it is. Found it. Why didn't you tell me where it was? All right, so I'm taking it. I'm hooking it, not necessarily hook to hook, but hook to the hole. Pulling this up where I want it. I am pulling it tight with my tail. I'm going to have a big tail. The strap is long. And I want that ratchet up towards the very top. Now but I want this tight because I don't want it to move. So I've got my tail. Now I'm going to ratchet it tight. Again, I really am trying to get it tight because when I set this down, I don't want this to slip forward as it's going to want to do. I'm just going to throw my excess over there out of the way. Now I'm going to do the same thing along the bottom. I'm going to do it on this side of the wheel just to kind of keep me from going because, I mean, that's close enough to the edge. So I'm going to do it on the inside right here at the edge of the wheel. That's where I'm going to do it at. Pull it tight, rack it. Now, we're ready to set it down. Again, 2 people's better than 1 here. I've only got my 1 though. I let the other guy go back. I let Pastor Don go back. I'm thankful he hit me, stood this sucker up a while ago. All right, so now, I don't really think it's going to fall on me. It's going to pull it back. But you see it's going to try to slip. So I'm going to move around here. I don't want it to slam down. I don't want to break my dolly wheels. I want it to be able to roll for you next time. And I'm just slowly going to go down. Now I have a dollied up. It'll roll around on me. It's foot heavy, which allows me to pick up really easy to get over stuff with this bump. It works well. And this is our finished project. We have our tarp. Why not store it all nice and neat? We'll put it right there. Be great now, so that we never have to worry about that. To loosen this up now that we got it down, put it right up underneath there. Pull him tight again. Now, we roll up our hoses, take our blowers, get some help putting it on the trailer, and you're good. Guys, again, I'm thankful that we have this available for us as a district. Let's all work together to protect it, and let's all work well to roll it up well that makes it easier for the next person. Hey, may it bless your ministry. May it help you show love to kids and their families. See ya.